My name's Kay from the Isle of Man and 24 years old. Been travelling for 9 months now. We've been together for 6 years, so this...
Hey.
You are.
I'm Anthony Kay. I'm 27. I'm from the Isle of Man in the UK, and came backpacking with Kay, obviously. We plan to travel for a year, all in all, and then we go back to the Isle of Man in September. But while we've been in Australia, we've been trying to earn our second year visa.
So this is why we're working now.
This is why we've come to Burke.
The money's better here, so we want to come back to save up for a house. So that's our main
And
thing.
what are you doing in the Isle of Man?
Oh, I work in a stockbroking company in the Isle of Man as an administrator, and I've been there since I left school.
And I'm a bricklayer. We chose Australia. It was like one of a few countries that we chose.
The main backpacker route, really. We did Southeast Asia, then Australia was just like the next place to go to.
Yeah, we started in India, and then went from India to Southeast Asia, and then
Australia was the next place.
And because we have in the UK, we call them round the world tickets, and you can buy them for like £1,600, but you have to have a certain itinerary and fulfil the itinerary, have a certain amount of countries that you have to fulfil, and then that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we thought obviously Australia was going to be hot, and we just wanted to, being from the UK, just want to get away from the UK and be the hot weather, and everybody raves about Australia, so...
And we weren't going to come travelling because we were going to save and buy a house, but once the recession hit, obviously house prices weren't very good, so we thought what we'd save for a deposit on a house, we thought, right, we'll just
Go travelling.
we'll go travelling and hopefully come back to the UK when the recession's faded out.
But we never planned to work in Australia. We were going to just be here for a couple of months, but we'd spent our budget through Asia and needed to work here, so we thought we might as well get the year visa and do that way.
Yeah, we expected to have a lot more money left over from Asia, but then we found Australia to be really, really expensive, so if we hadn't have worked, we would have been gone home by now, I think.
Yeah, we would definitely be home if we hadn't worked.
But country-wise and friendly-wise, Australia is second to none, really. We found it to be absolutely brilliant, hospitable people.
Well, some places.
Most places, I reckon.
Yeah. Don't know, it's not what you expect Australia. I didn't think it's a bit built up. It is like really good experience, but I don't know, the cities, it's just a city.
From one city to another it gets a bit the same. But I'm glad we came to Burke. This has been a really good Aussie experience, definitely.
I think in the countryside, because we're working in the countryside, we're a lot more appreciated than the city, I think.
They're just looking for the...
Well,
money,
Anthony's a bricklayer, so I mean, bricklaying is a job over here that they're crying out for people. So he, for example, walked straight into a job, and within the first 2 days he had a job. Obviously working in an office at home, wanted office work, and it's really hard. And the people, like, I went through temp agencies, and I thought they were all really, really rude. And you're a backpacker, you're not really important, there's more people important than you sort of attitude, and it was just by luck that I happened to get a job. But I don't know if people are like that in general in temp agencies all in all, but the people in the countryside, I mean, we've been here for 6 weeks, we've not met one unfriendly person, and a lot more welcoming in, and yeah, the locals are nice. They all like out where you're from, what you do, and it.
Yeah, the indigenous people are really good to have a conversation with. They really love to know where you're from, and they like having a beer with you. They're so friendly and just really interested in us, I think.
I think people in cities in general are probably.
Yeah, come across as being more in it for the money, but I still think, as a generalisation, Australia is very friendly.
Yeah, they are friendly. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say the war, yeah. I'd say exploring new places, meeting new people,
Partying.
partying. Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's become a lot more commercial now. We expected it to be a lot more
chilled
free
out.
and easy, but a lot of it seems to be mapped out for you, and you're not so much exploring your own way around. Whereas
It's all laid out.
like everyone has to go to Bondi, everyone has to do this, that, and it's all like kind of mapped out for you type of thing. We were expecting it to be like we'd constantly have our bags on our shoulders, trying to walking around, finding our way around and things like that. But
no.
it's
Like,
a lot
if you'd
easier than we
asked
thought it
us-
would be.
Yeah, if you'd asked us before we came, like before we've been backpacking, what would you think backpacking was? We would probably be more like, exploring places, finding these, deserted areas, and obviously meeting new people and having a drink and things like that. But now, yeah, when you ask us now, no, I wouldn't say we're disappointed by it, but it's not
It's
as
become a bit more
thrilling as what we thought it would be. It's just like Amp says, everybody goes to Bondi, you have to go there, and like everybody goes there. But like, we are having the time of our lives, but it's just because you had something in your head to start with. It's not totally the same, but it's everybody should do it because it's good to just meet people and see things you've never would dream of seeing. So.
I expected backpacking to be a bit more hippified, like
hippies and
yeah.
a bit more chilled out and easy, but
Finding yourself kind of thing.
I think Australia as well, because it's obviously Western, and it could, like when we're in the city, I mean from the Isle of Man we don't have cities, but it could be like at home, it's apart from it was being warmer.
Yeah.
It's not.
I think after our travels we do a bit now. I mean, when we speak to people, without even realising, we found that we've given really good advice on how to get around and things like that. So I think we're backpackers.
I think there's like two sorts of backpackers. There's like people who go and they say they're going backpacking, but they're going to get drunk
On a
every
booze
night,
cruise,
a big booze cruise. But we would more like to go off and explore, like go down roads people haven't been
Culture.
down. So it depends who you're asking.
But
I'll
I think
probably
we
put
fit
us
the
in
bill.
one. Like we've obviously been going out to the pub and having drinks, but we try and do as much
learn
as we
stuff
can
about the
and learn
country.
stuff, and things like that. So yeah, I think we
fit the bill, yeah.
class ourselves as backpackers in that sort of backpacker way, anyway. We don't.
I don't know. At first, when we first started travelling, we have like the Lonely Planet calls it Budgetitis, where we were really stingy with our money, and then. But I think because we're earning in Australia, then we're being a bit more free with our money.
To come to Australia, you would need a massive budget to survive.
I don't think
you have to. I just can't see it being possible to travel this country. Say we're here. Say you want to travel for a year, we're here for 6 months this time. There's no way you'd need thousands and thousands of pounds to do it. So.
But
the way we're managing it now is working.
Yeah.
But when we first came to Australia, we were just taken back by the price of things. It's unreal.
Yeah.
It's so much more expensive than the UK. And people at home would say, oh, it's the same sort of price as the UK. But no, it's
and
ridiculous.
Even food-wise, I mean, we expected everything's locally produced in Australia, so we expected the likes of fruit and veg and things like that to be really, really cheap. But you might
everything from the stupidest thing. An apple is $1.50 in some places for one apple.
So food-wise, we've spent so much money, but even if you try and buy cheap, then by the time you've bought all the stuff for say a sandwich or something like that, then you spent $20 anyway.
Yeah, it's
so. But we are managing. We're still here.
But
so.
as far as managing the budget, we're the wrong people to. We're rubbish when it comes to. We're all right saving the money, but as soon as it's in our bank, we just spend it. So.
Yeah.
All right, we did Well, we hadn't really. Well, before when we were back at home and we were trying to plan our trip, we obviously thought we'd still have money in Australia. We were going to buy a camper van to travel up the east coast. So we were only going to be here for 2 months, but then obviously all our plans changed, and then it was just a case of we were looking at Greyhound coach and things like that. But then
public transport. We haven't had our own vehicle ever in Australia.
yeah,
It's
although
all
we
been
wanted
public
to,
transport.
but then everyone's like, oh, just get your own vehicle when you turn up in Australia because it's cheap. Well, we couldn't find one for less than maybe $3,000. So, and then it's not even may not be reliable. Obviously, the fuel and everything costs on top of that. So that got wiped out. Then we were just looking at public transport. And now we're doing this Oz experience. I'm allowed to say that on the Oz experience thing that we think is probably the best one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Takes you from Sydney to Cairns, or vice versa, for maybe how much is that? $800.
400 each.
And it stops you various locations, all the hotspots
All the major
basically from
hotspots.
here to Cairns on the way, and it's over a 6-month period. So.
But it's a hop on, hop off thing, so we can just come and go as we please.
Yeah,
so.
and that's solely made for backpackers. Whereas the Greyhound buses, it's public transport. So if you wanted to really meet a group of backpackers, it's probably a really good way to do it.
Way. But we're hoping that's not going to be a booze cruise, as we say.
Yeah, I don't think you can do your own thing. You can stay in one place for however long you want.
We found flights within Australia
Yeah,
to be reasonable, didn't
flights in comparison to the price of everything else. Flights are probably the cheapest thing within Australia we've found. But then of course you don't always want to fly because you're missing all the land in the middle. So we flew to Melbourne to Sydney, but we won't fly again now we're here. We're going to get the Oz experience.
Yeah. We found the job that we have at the moment. Kay found it on it was a very obscure website, but
Yeah,
she just
Internet
kind of
Express.
happened across it. Because
But it's just so difficult. There might be a job advertised on the internet, but you've got to remember that probably 7,000 backpackers have just gone for that job as soon as it comes on. So look for
Gumtree.
office jobs, I solely went through the internet, found temping agencies on the internet in that area. I think that's the only way.
but for
Newspaper we tried, but I mean you can look, but there's so many people going for that same job. It's luck of the draw, if anything. You're lucky if you get picked.
we signed up with Peter Pan Travel as well, didn't we? We paid like a $40 fee, and you get signed up, and they give you weekly or daily updates on via your email, and they kind of let you know what work's available, backpacker work. Yeah.
But then of course that's obviously there's still 1,000. Even if there's only 1,000 backpackers at this one place, then it's still 1,000 backpackers going for that job. But internet, I would have thought is the best way. Gumtree, but then I've heard that isn't reliable in some cases. Yeah.
Is it your first job in Australia, in Perth?
No, I worked in Melbourne for 3 months as a bricklayer.
Yeah, if you've got a job like Anthony, I would have thought a tradesman, plumbing, whatever, I would have thought you could possibly find a job easier. I mean, Anthony did with bricklaying. And obviously other jobs like nurses, I know Australia need nurses, so yeah, if you've got some sort of trade like that, then I think it would be easy. But if you're just a basic office worker or something, it's...
But in general, you can say that it's difficult to find a work.
Yeah,
No,
extremely
for me it wasn't.
difficult.
Yeah.
The amount of backpackers I've talked to who were in the same boat as me, it's... you can't walk to Australia and walk into a job. That's what people said. No way. Maybe we're just I don't know if we've come at the wrong time, and you used to be able to do that, but the 6 months we've been here already, you can't do it. And even waitressing, bar work now, because there's always somebody there who's already got the job, so it's very hard.
We'll come back to Australia in January. And
Yeah. I mean,
West.
the main reason for coming back, like the job, when I finally got a job in office work, the money was a lot better than at home. Same goes for Anthony's work. So for us to eventually buy a house when we go home, it makes sense to come back here just to solely to save, not backpack in the second year.
Yeah, we won't be backpacking. I don't. Well, we'll if there's
Maybe
anywhere we've missed going up the east coast or something like that.
Maybe try West Australia then. But yeah, so we're saving money next year, second year visa. Apply for a working visa in Australia. You just simply, for us from the UK, it's the Australian Bureau. You ring, you can do it online now. Fill your form out. It's £235 to get your visa. I don't know if they refuse anybody. I mean, we didn't. I don't know what the rules are. I don't know if you've got a criminal record.
They asked us loads of questions: where we work, what we do.
You've got to be under 30 years of age as well to get a working visa. So yeah, we got ours, and then you come to Australia then, and you can work anywhere for one company for 6 months, no longer than 6 months at a time. And then if you want to gain your second year visa, which can just be either you can stay in the country from when your first year visa ends, you can stay in the country, or you can go home and come back. To get that, you have to work for 3 months, and the Australian government says 3 months is 88 days working in like a regional area of Australia, doing something like farm work, picking fruit, machinery, construction work, but it can't be around the cities, it has to be in regional
basically
areas.
Where no one else wants to work.
Yeah, I think Australia struggles. The Australians don't want to do work like orange picking, for example, because they probably think they can get better work elsewhere. So in that respect, yeah, I think that's why the people out here are so nice to us, because they can't get Australians to work for them. Backpackers are keen to do that.
At present, we work for MBP, North Burke Packing Shed. We pick and pack oranges.
Burke is like right just on the gate. It's called the gateway to the outback, so we're quite farish inland.
Yeah.
We're a long way from the other side, but
I drive a forklift and a packing shed mainly.
yeah, and I do mainly is the orange sorting, getting all the bad oranges out, and we find it really, really fun actually.
We've got really good bosses.
Yeah, it's a nice area, and there's good people to work with, good money in comparison. The money I'm earning out here is only a couple of dollars less per hour than what I was earning in the city, and there I was paying a lot more for rent, a lot more for food and things.
We have really good bosses who we've become quite friendly with. They have us round their house now and again.
Yeah,
we're not big fans of picking
because of the spiders.
Yeah.
But I wish I'd known about maybe doing farm work before in Melbourne, because you're in the middle of nowhere here. The money you earn is you've got nothing to spend it on, so it's a good way to save money. We think anyway. And yeah, so after we do the orange shed, which is the packing, we're then going to prune the trees and get them ready for next season.
Get rid of all the dead wood.
Yeah.
So get ready for next year.
We've learned a lot about oranges since we've been here that we didn't ever know.
I always thought an orange was an orange.
Yeah.
But we realised that they come out yellow when they make them orange.
Yeah, they come off the trees green and come out orange. And
I didn't know you have to put the oranges through a gas chamber.
No.
Didn't
it's
realise
quite interesting.
You could get a first grade orange and a second grade orange. I didn't know that it comes in 72s.
Different size oranges, and they have numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're lucky though with the job we've got here, because hearing other people we've talked to when they were doing their second year visa work, they've had it really bad, and accommodation wise and things. So it's a good area. We're lucky really in that respect.
Yeah, we've met some good friends as well, haven't we? So.
Mhm. It's like an
Okay.
on-the-spot question.
Yeah.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't feel like we've done loads since we've been to Australia, apart from work, because we haven't got any money. So when we finish the work here in about 8 weeks' time, we've then got 1 month, and we're travelling from Sydney to Cairns and not working because we've saved up the money. So
AC/DC.
Oh well, yeah. We
Yeah.
went to see AC/DC.
When we arrived in Australia, we went to see the local band AC/DC. That
Yeah.
was a brilliant night. We went and watched it at the Etihad Stadium in Melbourne.
Yeah,
It was a packed out crowd of about 60,000 people, and we really loved that. That was probably
that was good.
Yeah,
oh,
it was
brilliant,
really good.
really good. We were right at the front as well.
yeah.
So yeah, but places we've seen, like Melbourne, we went to see the Grampian mountain range, and that was amazing. That was probably the best thing.
We don't really have one specific memory that
But,
group it
the
all.
outback, I think, is
This has
probably
been,
the best thing we probably remember. We've never ever been to anywhere like this, and I've never ever done any sort of manual work. I did not think I'd enjoy it at all. Like at home, like makeup and hair, and over here I'm just like, ooh. So
Yeah, I've
this
been
is
in my work
probably
clothes now.
this is probably a big thing.
But I
We
think
went pig chasing in the outback. I mean, that's
Oh,
how
yeah,
good
that
can
was
that get,
excellent,
and things like that. So, yeah. Probably
yeah, quad
outback,
biking in the
so.
outback.
Mm.
But I think like just if you put everything together, then that's made it Australia for us.
Yeah, but like I say,
We went seeing kangaroos, we've seen all the local.
doing all that. But
Just
then,
everything, really.
like we say though,
We haven't done enough to.
it's not seen much really of Australia yet. We've just been Melbourne and Sydney, Burke, but just work, and then I think it will really start when we go to this Oz experience coach thing, because it'll be a load of other backpackers all doing the same thing, going the same way, and yeah, so.
So it's interesting you say that.
Yeah, I heard
What was
the
it?
fly in the
There's a fly, a bloody spider. That.
Was it?
Yeah.
a spider.
Yeah.
Okay.
How big?
It's gone now. God damn it.
Well, the main reason for that was because we got one of these round the world tickets at home. The itinerary is we fly into Sydney and fly out of Cairns. So we've got 6 months basically, and our main thing was we were going to blast a load of work in the first 3 or 4 months in one place, which we chose Melbourne, stay there and then travel up the east coast.
And plus
It wouldn't have had time to go to West Australia, but that's definitely what we're doing next year. We're going to fly into maybe Perth,
And plus, we didn't know that it was going to be like that before we actually came. So.
yeah, we just never, because everybody does the east coast and it sounds so amazing. We're like, right, we'll go from Sydney to Cairns, that's our trip sort of thing. So yeah, the ticket we got was limited us in a couple of times just now, but yeah, it was still a good thing.
But we will definitely see the west of Australia when we come back for our second year.
Especially we hear that all the good jobs are there, but people say that when you come here, and so we'll have to see, but definitely we'll see the other side, yeah. There's bits of both really when it comes to positive or negative sort of. I expected it, I knew it was going to be expensive, but I didn't think it was going to be as expensive to live, basically. Your basic needs, accommodation and food. But then the things that are, I don't know, it's a beautiful country, so that's been positive for me. I don't know. Yeah, I think the people are friendly. You never think of what the people are going to be like in a certain place. The people in general are friendly. Just the expense was the most negative thing for me, and finding work, because I had the expectation that you could walk into a job when you got to Australia, and you can't. Like, and everybody I've talked to in Australia has said the same, that it's really hard. But positive things are that it's just like a mega experience, and something I never ever thought I'd do. And another negative is actually that it's not always warm in Australia. I had the expectation it was going to be boiling hot all the time. People said that the Australian winter is like the UK summer, and it's not. It's freezing cold. So yeah, that was a bit of a downfall, but I think when you start going up north it'll get warmer.
I didn't really have any expectations of Australia because I had no idea what it would be like. But when we first arrived in Australia, I arrived in Melbourne, and my first impressions were it was absolutely amazing. But then as time went on, it was just started to feel a bit more like just being in a warmer UK type of thing. Positively, I've met some really friendly people. I've learned a lot more about Australia than I probably would have done had I not come.
Sense?
Yeah, I don't know. Need to have a little bit more of a think, really. Negative, as I said before, the cost of Australia has been absolutely sky high, and I've not really been able to afford it. And plus, as we've been working, we've maybe not seen as much as we'd like to have seen. That's really a negative for me. The weather, it's not been in the south of Australia, like in Victoria. The weather really wasn't as hot as I wanted it to be. So I think maybe if you'd have interviewed me at the end, I would have given you a bit more information on that, as we're only halfway through, and we haven't seen that much through either work or other reasons. Then it's not really, can't really give you that much information on it, really. So, but all in all, Australia really did meet my expectations in the fact that it's really friendly and good people, and
yeah,
I don't know. I will never go. I certainly won't go home with any regret of Australia. Definitely not.
No. I think if you're going to do your backpacking, you have to do Australia.
I would have.
Because I mean, especially if you're from, the UK, it's the whole other way, halfway around the world, isn't it?
It's like meeting our cousins, and meeting our cousins and finding out how they live, kind of thing. Because obviously, they were founded by British people, weren't they? So. We always hear stories at home. It's like, oh, what's life like down under and things like that, and it's like, oh, I've got to go see Australia. And
they do Cadbury's chocolate. It's good. Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you a negative. Foods that are at home do not taste the same in Australia. Brand names, for example, Coca-Cola doesn't taste the same. Cadbury's chocolate doesn't taste the same. So that is a big negative. And they call
Strongbow cider
doesn't taste
taste the same as Strongbow cider
and
at home. That's a big negative.
They call crisps chips, and we get confused then. Do we want hot chips or cold chips or whatever? So that's the negative.
I don't like their Americanized ways either.
Yeah.
I'm finding some negatives now, yeah.
Yeah, but positively, it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Don't want to go home yet.
It's an experience, yeah. There's never been a moment where I thought I'd like to leave, never.
No.
Even when I've been freezing cold in the morning, it's still part of our Oz experience, I'd say.
But when we come back to Australia, we're going to try and stay in the north, like, so it is hot all year round, so we've been told.
Yeah, we didn't really see the point in coming all the way around the world to be cold, because we can get that at home.
So. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I would say that if you're going to try and get your second year visa, you obviously have to do some sort of farm work. You have to go in and not be scared of spiders because there are loads and loads of spiders. But that would be my thing to say. And Australians will laugh at you if you're afraid of spiders too, because they've been brought up with them. And snakes, but I haven't seen any snakes, thank God. And mice. Mice, spiders and snakes are on land, and then you've just got the sharks, jellyfish in the sea, so...
I'd recommend Australia to anyone. It's a beautiful country, beautiful people. It's fair bloody dinkum.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.